Anthony Slater here inside the Peak with Eric Horn after a Game 4 Thunder win, huge win over the Spurs tonight to knock the series up at 2-2. As always, our Thunder videos are brought to you by J. Marshall Squared, Oklahoma City's only big house apartment community. Eric, Kevin Durant, the story tonight. Coming into the game, there was talk, could this be his final game in Oklahoma City? If they lost tonight, then lose Game 5, then he leaves in free agency. It was possible, but he ended it. He talked of that with 41 huge points, 17 in the fourth, got the win, and now Game 6 is insured here.
Yeah, and he started off, it looked like he was going to have one of those strange offensive nights.
It was like kind of Game 2 Mavericks.
Yeah.
He just couldn't hit a shot even though he was open.
I think he was about 1 of 3 in the first quarter. The second quarter, he looked like he was a little bit disengaged from the offense. Some of the bench guys really came up big in the beginning of that second quarter, but he turns it on in the fourth. He was 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter. Didn't have any turnovers. Really lifted the Thunder in the fourth.
Not only was he 6 of 6 for 17 points, but he's guarding Kawhi Leonard on the other end, who was great through 3 quarters. In the fourth, Kawhi goes 0 of 5, doesn't score a point. Thunder outscored the Spurs in that fourth quarter 34-16, an 18-point just blowout in the fourth. And that's been that's the biggest concern with this Thunder team. They can't close. They have closing issues all year. In the biggest moment of the year, they have their biggest performance in the fourth.
Yeah, we really were sitting there on press row kind of thinking what are we going to see down the stretch from the Thunder? They came up with big defensive plays on Tony Parker. Dion Waiters had a big steal.
Russell Westbrook strip, hit ahead to Durant, kind of sealed it.
Yeah, and it was really a collective effort from all of those guys. It wasn't just one player. We talk about Kevin Durant's offensive performance in the fourth quarter, but everybody played a little part. Russell Westbrook didn't particularly shoot well in the fourth, but he had big assists. He had a big rebound on Dion Waiters' miss layup on the break, and then he threw the ball back to Waiters, and then they called timeout. That was a key possession. Everybody had little parts to play in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, contributions really from everywhere, not just in the fourth. All game, Dion Waiters, I think, but he have 17 big ones off the bench. Double-double from Steven Adams, 16 and 11. Then Ennis, what? Who?
I was going to go ahead.
Well, Ennis Canner. Ennis Canner goes for 9 of his 11 points in the fourth quarter, and even more importantly, Billy Donovan closes with Canner, doesn't put Serge Ibaka in down the stretch, and I thought Canner rewarded him. Thunder out-rebounded the Spurs 15-6 in the fourth. A lot of that is Canner. Hits a big 3, has a rebound put back, and played LaMarcus Aldridge decent on the other end.
Yeah, the Thunder's athleticism and youth really came through at the end of the game. we saw them blow Tim Duncan essentially off the court in the first half. He had 4 fouls really quickly. But your boy Randy Foye came through.
Randy Foye from rotational deep threes, because Cameron Payne's struggling so much. He hits a big 3, he has a drive and a layup. I think it's pretty clear Randy Foye will be the backup point guard for the rest of this series. It's interesting. And post-game, or Game 5 will be in San Antonio on Tuesday night. Post-game, we talked to Ennis Canner, Steven Adams, Durant, and Westbrook at the podium, and both coaches.
For tonight, or was he just making shots?
You got to give him credit. He was great. He was great. I don't know what else to say. He was fantastic.
Kevin, they just scored 16 points in the fourth. You held Kawhi scoreless, defending most of the fourth quarter. What did you see in terms of your defensive effort as a team and individually in that fourth?
Well, I didn't do anything individually. It was all a team effort. Kawhi's a great player. He got past me a few times, and my bigs did a great job of helping and closing out to him, man. So we do everything together. And 16 points is quarter. That's a great quarter for us defensively. So we gotta look at that and see how we can try to sustain it. So it was a good, hard-fought game, man. We played hard all the way through. No matter what happened, we got down early. We couldn't score, but we just kept playing hard, and we was able to, chip into the lead and take the lead late in the fourth.
Okay, Cliff Brett, Associated Press. Kevin, you've been consistent all year, but not too many explosions like this. How important was it for you, and how did it feel to get into this kind of a zone, especially in a game that y'all needed like this?
Yeah, when we have a deep team, those 40-point nights, they don't come a lot. I just try to be consistent with what I do, and I know at any given moment I can go off and hit a few shots. So, I just try to stay with it, just play as hard as I can on both ends of the floor and leave it all out there and live with the results. So my teammates did a great job of sticking with me and finding me and giving me easy baskets and screening for me and sacrificing their bodies for me, and I'm definitely grateful for it. So after they do all of that, it's on me to finish a shot and just stick to the fundamentals I've been practicing since I was a kid. So, you got to stick with it.
Yeah, Kevin, you seem to really enjoy that last 2 minutes, hit the corner three and did a little hop. What were your emotions done knowing that, hey, we put this behind us, we're 2-2, it's a brand new series?
I just try to stay in the moment. We still had a couple minutes left in the game. Our crowd was phenomenal tonight, one of the loudest I've ever heard them. And I just try to stay in the moment. Obviously it's 2-2. We got a huge game coming up on their home floor, but just try to stay in the presence of tonight and worry about tonight. And the whole team did a great job. Randy Floyd deserves a lot of credit for coming in and not playing the whole series and hitting big shots for us. Dion was stuck with it. Russell was phenomenal tonight in controlling the game and making sure we were in our sets all night. So a lot of credit goes to the rest of the team, not just me.
Travis Singleton, BlackAthlete.net. Could you just talk about what it meant to you to have your mom out there, on Mother's Day for a special game that you just had?
It's special to have family there, especially on this Mother's Day. Spend so many of them with my mom. So to out there, be living out a dream I had since a kid that she supported since I was a kid means a lot. So I'm sure my teammates feel the same way.
Eric Horn, the Oklahoman. Russell, when you followed up Dion's miss with that rebound and got it to him, that seemed like a wild sequence. What was going on in that sequence that you saw?
Just trying to compete. I saw Dion on the break, just making sure, try to secure it if he did miss, and he happened to miss, and my job was try to get the rebound and sustain the possession.
It seemed like you gained your composure after that first technical in the first quarter. I mean, is that something that was important to you to be able to calm down and get back into the game at that juncture?
I was fine. My job is to try to control my team and put us in position to make us successful. All night I try to focus on that part of my game and find a way to always win games. That's what I try to do.
Anthony.
Billy closed with Ennis Cantor tonight for the first time in a while. What did he give you down the stretch, specifically, alongside Adams, that kind of rebounding lineup?
And they're physical. Those two guys are in there, they're very physical. It's difficult to score over them, and obviously rebound. They do a great job of spacing the floor. They do a great job of getting our guys up, getting Kevin's shot, screening for him. Like Kevin said, sacrificing their bodies for the betterment of the team, and they did a good job tonight.
Russ, your steal on Parker and then pitch ahead to Kevin for the layup seemed to be a backbreaker. Can you just take me through that whole play?
Just locking down and defending. It's going to be possessions like that. We need to get a big stop and a big score that can, kind of open up a series or give us an opportunity to win a game. And I thought that was a big play for us, and Kevin made a good finish.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned Dion a second ago. Sorry, over here to the side. But he's been great defensively pretty much all series, but his 7 of 11 tonight, just overall contribution seemed to be there. How big was that for you guys?
It's huge, man. We need everybody, especially against his team, and he was huge. He came big on both ends of the court, was finishing in the paint, defending, doing a great job of using his hands, and getting deflection. So we don't need that, man. We need that from everyone. I think everybody who came into the game tonight had that intensity and that focus on the defensive end. We're a team that we got a lot of weapons on the offensive end, and it's a matter of shots going in and out the basket, but we stayed with our defense tonight.
Chumi from Cena.com. Ross, last game we have only 14 assists for a whole team, and tonight you have 13 for yourself. Can you talk about how you change your mindset and during this transition?
Like I said, going into after last game, I do a better job of finding ways to give my teammates easy shots, and I give credit to those guys, and Kevin, Serge, Steve, the rest of the team made some shots, and my job is to penetrate and find guys, and that's what I try to do tonight.
Fred Katz, Norman Transcript. Russ, just off of that, with the way that you were facilitating tonight, specifically with Steven, it looked like you guys were really locked in, especially early. What was different between the two of you specifically compared to last game?
He had one shot last game, and that was on me. Tonight I tried to find him and put pressure on the defense. He's a great finisher, has great hands, and tonight he did a good job of just being physical, being big, and finishing around the basket.
Chris Broussard, ESPN. Kevin, Kawhi's obviously Defensive Player of the Year. Fourth quarter, you kind of had your way with him. Do you feel like you're starting after 3 straight games now 4, to figure out how he defends you and ways to counter that?
I don't think it's just him. Great defender, and he does a good job of funneling you to his teammates. They're running 2 or 3 guys at me, so I gotta be stronger with the ball. He's so good with his hands. He's good at contested shots, but just try to pick and choose my spots. They're a great defensive team, and he's a great defender. But they have a great group that know what the coach wants them to do in the defensive end, and it's on me to just kind of figure out the best way to be aggressive and score and also make plays. So I was able to make some shots tonight. Like I said, to make them mislead, and I just try to stay aggressive.
Steven, the defense and rebounding in the fourth quarter seemed to play a huge factor. What did you see out there?
Just they made some mistakes, and we capitalized off of them, especially those two. Those two were ridiculous. They just made some huge plays down the stretch that really separated us, and then.
This morning we talked about how Russ said he wants to get you more involved. It seemed like you got more offensive opportunities. You feel like that helped open things up for everybody?
Yeah, it did. Just kept them honest, but they're obviously trying to shut down KD or overload on them as they do. And so, all that does is just free them up, and then they can get their shots off.
Is this the most physical game of the series?
Pardon?
This the most physical game of the series?
No, they've all been the same. Just some clashes. It's awesome though. It's good stuff.
Steven, what was it like watching Kevin do what he did in the fourth?
No idea. No, I didn't even pay attention, but honestly, just too caught up with all my jobs that I had to do. So, Leslie told me that he scored 41. I went straight over the top of the head, bro.
When you heard the results, how did you feel?
Just happy that we won. Don't really care how many points we scored, but he's good. Put it up.
Steve, Billy closed with Ennis tonight. He rarely does that. Plays Ennis throughout the fourth with you. What does that say about the trust he's gaining in Ennis, and how do you think that lineup with you two together performed?
I like it. I like it either way. Coach definitely trusted him down the stretch. It was brilliant. He made some really good plays. Did a good job on LaMarcus, all that. He was just so locked in, bro. He's doing a hell of a job.
What about Dion's performance tonight? He looked energized. He was just seemingly everywhere.
Again, just don't even realize that what's going on. You can't really watch, but I'm assuming that he did pretty well.
Do you have to have pretty good performances out of guys not named Westbrook and Durant to beat these guys like you did tonight?
Yeah, obviously, because that's why we lost the other games, right? You got to get everyone involved. It's a team sport, so and they're obviously overloading as much as possible on them too, because they know that they're just high caliber. So.
How can you carry on the confidence of a performance like that from a lot of players, not KD and Russ, into the next games? How can you carry on the confidence of these players? Not KD and Russ getting all those points. You carry on what's essentially best of 3 now.
It's pretty easy, bro. Those two give us a lot of confidence. They say the right things, and we just feel good and always just ready to do whatever they say.
Well, Steve, what did that fourth quarter feel like from a frenzy standpoint with the crowd going wild and you guys on that big run?
Couldn't hear everything, mate. Honestly, just couldn't hear myself think or nothing. Just constant screaming. It's weird, man.
You've been in some crazy environments out there. Was tonight the loudest, the kind of craziest in that fourth?
It was definitely the loudest, especially after those big plays from those two. Yeah, almost fainted, bro. Just so loud.
You closed tonight for the first time in a while. How did it feel for them to trust you to guard all of this and play down the stretch?
Well, I think that means a lot. The last whatever minutes I was on the court, last quarter, and I think I just tried to give it everything I had, and I think we did a good job on both ends, not just offensively. I think we did a really good job on both ends.
How about the corner three? Where does that rank on the favorite shots of your career?
No, it just definitely my most important corner tip my whole life. That's pretty cool.
And it's obviously people are going to be talking about Kevin's performance tonight, but the rest of the supporting cast was really spectacular. Just talk about what you guys saw and kind of what you felt like you needed to do.
I think the most important thing we shared the ball, and we're communicating out there. And like I said again, Kevin made himself better, and he made everybody else better. That's what he does the best. He just made the whole team better, and we won the game.
What about Dion's play tonight?
He came out big. He brought a lot of energy from the bench, and we needed that. And he just went out there and just did his job.
How did that fourth quarter feel? Not only to outscore them by 14, but just with what the crowd was like.
Oh, this crowd was crazy, man. There was a point that I couldn't, hear like anything. It was just like they were really loud. But I think we did it. The crowd did an amazing job helping us.
Are you amazed at where you are defensively now compared to last year?
I'll compare myself now and beginning of the season and last year. I felt so much comfortable. I got so much confidence in me and the defensive end.